Okay, we're going deeper into protein dephosphorylation. So let's talk about this, try to get the basics from this slide. We're looking to see how the phosphatase acts by the transfer and subsequent release of the phosphate group. So looking at step 1 first, you can notice, let's look at cysteine. And when you look at cysteine, what is unusual about cysteine? We should know that this forms disulfide bonds, and that the sulfur is donating an electron here, and it is now an active protein because it has been phosphorylated. But looking down, you can see that the inactive form, in this form, it gains a hydrogen, and it can no longer function, so it is recycled. The phosphatase group took the phosphate group away from the substrate, so that's what we have to notice that happened here. The phosphate group we transferred the phosphate group from the substrate. So looking over at step 2, we notice now that now the phosphate is in the active, the phosphatase is in the active form, and the phosphatase is no longer bound to phosphate. So what is happening here is that the phosphatase is then re-released back into the environment after stealing the phosphate groups. And what kind of reaction do we call it, where you transfer a hydroxyl group? For example, we call this a hydration reaction. So the main points of this protein dephosphorylation is noticing how the phosphatase acts by the transfer and subsequent release of the phosphate group.